This is in response to that douchebag who made that video comparing the Glock to the Hi-Point pistol. I mean, he's a fucking moron. Look at what he's doing. He's comparing a frickin' amazing gun to a piece of shit. Alright, first off, Glocks look nothing like a Hi-Point. Nothing. Period. This is what a Glock looks like. This is what a Hi-Point looks like. You see the difference there? Yeah, I think you do. You know, he goes on to test the trigger pull. This is the first problem with his video. I mean, the first one that's really frickin' obvious. He says it has a 7-pound trigger pull. A 7-pound trigger pull. That's complete bullshit. Look at this. Here's a manual from Glock with the trigger pull information here on page 8. Look at all these different pistol types. Jesus fucking Christ. Do you see any of these with a 7-pound trigger pull? No, you don't. Because they don't make a pistol with a 7-pound trigger pull. Anywhere. Look at this. Here's even more pistols. You see all these pistols? Do you see any 7-pound trigger pull in there? No, you don't. You fucking retard. So, let's go back onto this whole, well, the Hi-Point weighs a little more, so the recoil is going to be a little less. You're right, it is. Probably not, though. Because you know what dampens most recoil instead of the weight? The fucking recoil spring. Let me put the camera down so I can show you what the hell I'm talking about. On a Glock, you usually have one recoil spring. Fine. See? This thing right here is called a recoil spring. It deadens most of the recoil you'll ever feel. It's not because the Glock weighs a ton more, but it's because it's got an encapsulated, that's right, encapsulated recoil spring. This is a subcompact model. The full-size models don't have that, but they have a much longer spring in them. Let me put that back in there. Now, this serves the function of deadening most of the recoil. It also serves the function of returning the slide back to its locking position. You know what also has a recoil spring? SIGs have recoil springs. That's right. Let me show you. Look at that recoil spring right there. Do you think that because this gun weighs about a pound more than the Glock does, that it deadens more recoil? I shouldn't have to have a recoil spring because it weighs more? No, what are you, fucking retarded? You're still going to end up busting your slide if you don't have a recoil spring in it. Alright, you know what has 2 recoil springs in it? The Desert Eagle has 2 recoil springs in it. Let me show you. Look at right there. 2 frickin' recoil springs. Dead in the bottom of the gun. Now, this gun I shouldn't have to have any sort of recoil spring because it weighs like 5 fucking pounds. But, needless to say, that slide still needs to come forward, I guess. So maybe having recoil springs is just kind of a convenience. God, that guy's a fucking moron. So let me put this Glock away here. Oops, my mistake. How could I have made that poor decision to call this a Glock instead of a frickin' Desert Eagle? Man, they look so much alike. God damn it, that guy's fucking retarded. So, now you know that there is a difference between high points and Glocks. You can go home and be happy because there's only one moron on the internet, right? Yeah. What the fuck ever. That guy needs to get off of YouTube before he spreads any more of his goddamn lies.